Hi guys, so I just thought I'd do this very quick video. It's more of a footprint example really of a couple of trades examples that we could have took yesterday. I didn't take it. The first one would have been here. I wasn't at my trading desk, so I missed it. I would have faded that back to VWAP. And the reason why I would have only faded it back to VWAP was because of what was contained in the top of this candle here, this candlestick, or this Renko, I should say. There's a reason why I would have only faded. And again, we had a flat VWAP, so it would have only been from 2 standard deviation back towards there. But the second one, when we come back up here, that ended up auctioning off for 60 pips. We sold it for 60 pips. So that would have been a good move. And there would have been, again, I'll show you in the footprint the reasons why we could have expected to see a bit more of a movement. This dotted magenta line, this is my point of interest I drew out. Reason for that is because on Monday and Tuesday, this is a custom TPO chart. Monday and Tuesday, we had equal lows. Wednesday, we were still trading around that area. Thursday, we traded through, took out those lows, and then come back up on Friday, back to test these lows here, which would have been my point of interest. And that was the first position. That was the second position, as you can see here. I will now switch to my footprint and you might be able to see things a bit easier. Right, so we're now on the footprint. Right, so that first position. So we started coming back up, auctioning back up. We found a bit of resistance here, a bit of absorption. Sellers started getting in, some increase in volume. However, we're still about 7, 8, 9 pips from my point of interest. So I would have been looking at this area, but there's just not enough going by what I'm seeing, not enough conviction. And, the candlesticks are quite, like 5-minute candlesticks are quite thin together. They're not like a massive range or anything. So I would have just been looking at this area, monitoring it, but I always like price to get right up and tight and personal to my points of interest for me to actually be looking to take a trade. So anyway, early sellers got in the market here. We then came back up, and then here I would have been starting to get a bit excited. However, although we've got lots of volume, buy and sell side delta is pretty neutral. We've got sellers in here, but this is the point where I'd be thinking, if I'm going to take a trade, if I'm going to have a punt, I'm not going to go for big pips because we've got 189 contracts right at the tip here of buyers. So we've got a lot of trapped buyers right at the tip, and this is classed as an unfinished auction. Now, when you have an unfinished auction, the expectation is that price will come back and revisit this area at some point in the future. So, and again, on this candlestick here, again, we've got volume, but the delta is just, there's a lot of buying going on still, it's just not enough for me to think we're gonna sell off. So we could have got in here, we could have got in for a little cheeky fade back towards VWAP, and we would have had, as I say, 20 odd pips, 20 odd pips back down towards the VWAP before we come back up, and there we are, we've revisited then. So back up towards where these trapped buyers are. I mean, now we're back up here. These buyers, if they haven't had their stops took out already, they're now going to be back at break even. They're going to be looking to get out of this trade and just be thinking, thank God I'm back there. And they'll be doing a little dance to the trading gods going, oh, thank you so much. Back at break even. I got out. I've not lost any money. Promise I'll never do that again. Yada, 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 and all that. And as I say, we've come back up. We've just took the top of that liquidity out, finished auction, 0 and 3 contracts there. So no more interest in continuing higher. We've got finished auction. We've got loads of volume. We've got, look, negative 305. I mean, the sell side delta is massive here. We like to see this right at the point of interest. Next candle, got minus 163 again, loads of sell side delta volume. Sellers are getting aggressive here, but really wanting to get this market moving back down again. You can see also here on the candlestick here, this is just a different way of interpreting or reading the data. We've got leading up to it, like the delta's just pretty neutral for like cable. I trade cable, by the way, mainly. And then here we've got this like little, the stars are aligning. There's something going on here. We've got loads of sell side delta. This is a little bit abnormal. So I would have definitely been looking to get into this trade. And also from what I remember when I was looking I used the DOM as well, the depth of market, and we had coming into it, we had quite a lot of buy resting orders stacking. But then as soon as we got to this area, all those buy resting orders, like a wall of orders, all got pulled. So they were all pulling the orders. And then all of a sudden on the sell side, we got loads of resting orders on the sell side stacking up. And that gives me an extra little bit of confidence. I like to see things like that where I'd be thinking, I've got to get involved. So I would have took this trade. And as I say, it would have sold off for 60 pips. Just it was too late in the day, 5 o'clock on a Friday. I don't want to be playing around at that time, really, if I can help it. So anyway, so that was the reasons why there was opportunities there. I'll be doing some more videos in the future where I go more in depth into what I look for and things like that and get a bit more technical. But I thought this was just a good little basic example of what I see, because you've probably seen me post similar trade setups on my Instagram with examples and things like that. And this is kind of what I like to think of a signature setup for me. I see these setups happen so many times, not exactly the same, nothing's ever the same, but similar characteristics and things that I look for. And I just thought you might get some value out of this. So if you did, then great. And if you didn't, then I'm sorry for wasting your time for about 5 or 6 minutes. But anyway, I'll do some more videos in the future, and I think we will wrap this one up. So cheers, guys.